Again, we are back. I know I just hopped on here and we were talking about our membership drive, but I am back to talk to you and bring you one of our VIP members, Dr. Melissa Balizan. Melissa, welcome to the show this morning.
Thank you, Colleen. It's so great to be here.
So what I love about Melissa is she is just a no BS. She just cuts right through the chase and gets down to the root cause. And I have learned so much from having Melissa in my life about medications, prescriptions, why we should be taking them, why we shouldn't be taking them, how one prescription's taken to treat a symptom of another prescription. And she has all these stats that blow me away. She has 26 years experience of being a pharmacist. She is who we should be listening to. So I wanted to bring her into the spotlight today to share more information. So if you are taking even one prescription or a supplement, you need to pay attention to her live video today. So Dr. Melissa, share with us, I was blown away when you shared with me why it is that you do what you do and our stories of our purpose and what has brought us to what we do today is so important. And there's so much passion behind it for you. So share with us your story and why you do what you do.
Sure. So why I do what I do, there's several different reasons. I went into being a pharmacist because of my mom. I wanted to find a cure for her. That's one reason. I actually did find not necessarily a cure, but we found some supplement regimens that actually help control the diagnosis that the physician gave her that they couldn't do anything about. And then I went through, I'm working, and then I have my own personal experiences is what brought me to doing exactly what I'm doing right now. And that is, I was a high-level executive. I was under a lot of stress, a ton of stress. I thought I had it under control. I quite didn't, because what was happening is my body was breaking down and I was going to physician after physician, couldn't figure out. I was taking the medication that they told me to take, wasn't helping. Nothing was working because nobody would get to the root cause. Finally, I found a physician after searching who actually saved my life. If I hadn't have found him and had the surgery, I don't think I would be here today.
Wow. What was happening with your body? What was going on?
I couldn't breathe. And they couldn't figure out why. And what was actually happening is my throat was closing off. It was getting smaller and smaller. And that's why I couldn't breathe. And so he had to go in and actually do surgery to open up my airway. And he actually told me, he says, I'll see you again in 6 months. You're going to have this done again, unless something changes. Well, what I did, I changed something. I walked away from where I was. I repositioned and I decided I still have a purpose to save lives and I'm going to do it my way.
And now you don't have to go back and have the surgery again.
That's right. It's been 3 years and I have not had to go back to him.
If that does not show the power of our mindset and surrounding ourselves in an environment that is pleasing, that fuels our success, I don't know what does, because this, Melissa, maybe you don't. I was in a horrible relationship at one point, and a dating relationship, and I had motion sickness. I had migraine so bad. I was sick like twice a year. I'd be in bed for 4 days, sick with a cold. I was always getting sick. I could never figure out what was wrong. When I left the relationship, it all went away. Like, I never thought motion sickness would go away or migraines would just poof, go away. I got myself out of the surroundings that I had put myself in a better, state of mind like you did. And the same thing happened in my life. My health improved dramatically. But I want to get back to what you were saying, because what you were talking about was so important. You became a pharmacist 26 years ago. You have an impressive resume, 52,000 hours of clinical hours of pharmacy. And I want everyone to understand the magnitude of that. How much schooling does a doctor, the physicians that we go to that prescribe all of our medications, how much schooling do they have, Dr. Melissa?
They get on average 1 semester, which is equivalent to approximately 600 hours.
600.
Yes.
600. Yeah.
Yes.
You've had 52,000 They've had 600 hours of study. Now, I'm not saying anything's wrong with the physician at all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm comparing to help people understand that when we go to the doctors and a doctor says we need to take this medication to treat a symptom, we go to the pharmacy, we have it filled, and we take it. The pharmacist behind the counter, are you guys just like, come on, were you guys just laughing at us this whole time? Like, I can't believe they're getting this filled. I mean, I know so many people that have had prescriptions that they start taking because the doctor prescribed it for them, and a different doctor prescribed them another medication. They didn't know another doctor had prescribed it, and the two of them did not mesh. And then before you know it, they're in the emergency room because they're almost dead because they had some adverse reaction. Do you see that happen a lot?
I do. I see that happen a ton.
Yeah.
And so my tidbit is that make sure that you, at least if you're getting your prescriptions filled, you go to the same pharmacy, because your pharmacist is at least good at checking those interactions.
Yeah.
And because, yeah, physicians don't talk to each other, but your
Yeah.
pharmacist can at least double check. They may or may not have the time to go and sit and talk with you like I do. So because they are, it's corporate. They're, you know, who they work for, it's about the bottom dollar. So they're churning out one of those 4.5 billion prescriptions a year.
4.5 billion.
Yes.
That
That
is
is
insane. That's $1 trillion industry because each prescription costs more than $1.
Yeah.
Some of them cost
Absolutely.
thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars. It is
Absolutely.
insane. We're over medicated, everyone. I'm just going to say that right now. We're over medicated. So tell us your approach, Dr. Melissa. What is your approach in working with individuals? Because I know you walked away from all of that. You said, I can't do this for my health anymore. I can't do this. It's not right, right? It's just not right. So many prescriptions are treating the symptoms, and your approach is about the root cause. So how do you do that?
So how I do that is I do an assessment, a couple of different ones. I look at what you're taking, with the medications you're taking, the supplements you're taking. And I've been doing that for a long time. People came to my clinic for me to do that. And now they come to me individually. And we take a look at what you're taking, and we look at the diagnosis you've been giving, and we go through your symptoms. Are you taking the appropriate thing? Just because you've been on something for a year or two or three or 10 doesn't mean you have to stay on it. And yes, I wholeheartedly am still a pharmacist, 100% believe you do not have to take medications for life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I absolutely believe that too. You know, we can wean ourselves off of things that maybe we felt like. So what is a common one that you find with people that come to you and clients that you work with that they're on, that you've been able to, like, give us an example of one of your clients you've been able to wean them off of?
Sure. So I've had several clients that have come on high blood pressure medication,
Mm.
and we've been able to wean them off high blood pressure medication by doing some lifestyle changes with nutrition and movement, and even switching things up. I had one client that was on a blood pressure medication, and she kept having this horrible cough and this horrible cough. And I told her, I said, you need to switch. We've got to switch your medication. And then we're working on controlling her blood pressure. Otherwise, you know, sometimes it's hereditary, and sometimes you're destined to be on a little tiny bit, but we got her to the smallest dose of a different medication that she's not having a symptom of, because she was taking another medication to combat that first one. I have other clients that they were just on supplements. If you're saying, I don't take any medications, I take supplements. She was taking 10 supplements. We went through her supplement list, and I said, well, why are you taking this, 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 and this? We went through, we did the assessment. I took her off of 3 of them.
Wow.
Because they weren't necessary for her anymore. There were still some that benefit, but I took her off of 3. I've had clients, numerous ones. I could probably go through, we could spend all day on that. But the bottom line is that if you don't want to be dependent upon your medication and or your supplements, then let's talk, because I want to help you get safely off of them. Because yes, there is detrimental effects if you don't taper it correctly. Some of those medications, if you just stop, it can actually kill you.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that, because, you know, the disclaimer to that would be, you know, Dr. Melissa is not saying don't listen to your physician. That's not what she's saying. she's saying if you're questioning this medication you're on, or you find yourself taking a ton of supplements that someone else maybe gave you direction on doing, or your life has changed, or you just don't, you're having pain in areas and you're taking these pills for it, but it's causing some other symptoms, and now you have pills for those symptoms. Commonly, what she has found is most physicians, like she experienced in her entire life, she received buterol for asthma when she was dying. A doctor gave her an inhaler, and her throat was closed up and she was dying. And if she would have just continued using what that physician gave her and never sought out other physicians, she wouldn't be with us today. So it just goes to show that we are the ones that have to be the ones to step up and take control of what's going into our bodies, because there are bodies, right? And we need to find the right people. And Melissa, I love that you have a show called Ask Dr. Melissa. You have links for Ask Dr. Melissa. That's what this is about. This is about finding out how Melissa can help you with what is already going on. What are aches you're having? What are pains you're having? Tell her what is happening with your medications you're taking, or supplements, or if you're not taking any of them, should you be? And this is a great opportunity for you to figure out how to do that without all the red tape, without all the insurance, without all the other stuff that happens. But it's like walking into the pharmacy and having the pharmacist who's had years and years and years of studies help you with these medications. But what do? We all go to the doctor because that's what we're told to do. And then after 600 hours that they've studied, they're telling us what it is that we need to take, instead of going directly to the root, who's the pharmacist. And they help you get directly to the root of the problem. That's the only way. Like, if a tree is producing really bad peaches, you don't work on the branches. It's probably the nutrients in the ground, right? It's probably what's happening underneath the surface. And that's what's happening with our bodies. So, Melissa, how do all of the women that are listening to you today reach out to you and connect with you to be able to spend some time with you?
Sure. So I made it really easy. You go to askdrmelissa.net and you can book your free 20-minute assessment with me. If you know you need longer, there's options for that, and you can book those right away as well. But you can also find out more about me on my website, drmelissabalizan.com. Book that appointment today. It's beneficial for you to have a chat with me. What's it going to hurt? Just have that call.
I agree. Don't wait. When you get 20, I mean, how many of you, and by a raise of hands, I want you to really think about this. How many of you, if your physician called and said, you can have free 20 minutes with me to discuss what's going on, wouldn't take them up on that? Of course we would. Yet it seems like we're so brainwashed that physicians are the only ones, that can give us that help that we need, when actually getting to the root is through your pharmacist. They're the ones that have all the training. They're the ones that have the medication training, the supplement training. And I love that Melissa kind of brings together the two worlds, right? The Eastern medication with the supplements and the regimens, as well as the trillions of dollars that are spent on prescriptions, because she does realize that some people need that in their life, and she's not going to have you quit cold turkey. But the only way you're going to be able to make a change is if you start researching and find this out. And Dr. Melissa Balizan is a great first stop for you to go to start researching this. And she collaborates with other labs and other people to be able to get you what it is that you need, all through her. And I love what she offers. So, Dr. Melissa Balizan, is there anything else you wanted to share with us today before we wrap up?
I would say take action today. You only get one body, and you need to take care of it now, because you are worth it.
Yeah. And Melissa, I have to say, if you did not take action for your body, listen to what was happening and keep going to the next specialist after the next specialist after the next specialist, we wouldn't have you with us today. So I'm so grateful that you did that. And I'm so grateful that you're sharing that message with other people. We are not promised tomorrow, my friends. We are not. And today will become yesterday. And I always said, have I done what it is that I wanted to do? Have I lived the life I wanted to live? If I get hit by a car and die, driving to the store later this afternoon, right? We have to ask ourselves that question. And if you're struggling with anything right now, reach out to Dr. Melissa Balizan. Ask her any questions you want. The links are all below, and we encourage you to do that ASAP. She has time on her schedule. She's opened up this week for you. So take advantage of that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you, Dr. Melissa. Again, you guys, don't forget, click on her link below. It's free. You get 20 minutes with her to discuss what's going on and then start looking into the root cause so you can live a happy and healthy life. So thank you, Dr. Melissa, for being with us. And don't forget, you guys, ask Dr. Melissa. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now.
Thanks.
See you, ladies.